You listened to him on the KVJ show for years. Every time he tried to talk sports, he'd get shut down. After years of begging, we finally gave in. Brought to you by Bremen Motor Cars in West Palm and Jupiter. A world-class experience. Visit BremenBMW.com. And by Wellington Anti-Aging. Low T? Go to WellingtonAntiAging.com. It's Kevin's Other Show on 640 The Hurricane.
Oh, yeah, baby. Here we go. It is such a very special day. Today is May the 4th. Some people say it's Star Wars Day. It's also the eve of Cinco de Mayo, which I guess would be Cuatro de Mayo. So I guess that's kind of how you would play it.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, that would make sense. So we can put it all together. Ricky Bobby's got on right now his sombrero.
Oh, this isn't for Cinco de Mayo. This is my floppy hat for the Kentucky Derby.
Oh, that is?
Okay.
I just figured themed would be nice, you know what I mean?
Wait a minute, is this a Mexican Star
It is the
Wars
mariachi
intro?
version,
Mariachi,
yes.
Mexican, that's racist.
Oh, come
yes.
on. That's
Yes.
where they play mariachi.
The
What are you doing to
mariachi
me?
version here of the Star Wars theme.
I like
Pretty
it.
good.
Yeah, it seems like a good fitting song for today. My name is Kevin. I am your host here today. Ricky Bobby is the very sombreroed one.
Listen, I'm very cultured, sir. I'm cultured.
We have Stephen Diener. We just call him Diener.
Whoa, that was my full name?
The non-cultured one.
Yes.
Wow.
And then also joining us from CBS 12 in the sports department, the very distinguished Matt Lincoln. Welcome.
Yeah.
Wow,
Hey,
thank you very
yeah,
much.
there we
I
go.
feel like I should have brought some sort of
I-
headwear.
you're
The
right.
hair
Some
is just
sort.
going to have to stand by itself.
okay.
But you know what? That's a TV thing because TV. it's
I'll be
about-
honest, I was
Radio
kinda-
guys always wear hats.
Right.
Yeah.
I was
TV
kind of
guys
mad
never
that you
hats.
weren't wearing a suit. I was expecting a suit.
Well,
would be
he's
great.
a little bit more sporty, but it is a collared.
A collar. Always have to have a
Yes.
collar.
Always got to have a collar on. Always
Very
got to have that
professional.
hair. Yes,
Yes.
looking very coiffed.
However, if I knew I was going to be on camera, I would have brought the makeup.
Some
and
makeup.
And I just didn't. You know,
Sure.
most TV people just like have it on the hip. They've got like a Batman clip.
Sound like
It's
you,
just like,
you totally go.
Yeah, put on real quick.
and I just don't have any with me.
Well, you look fantastic.
No, thank
keep
you very
in mind
much.
you're with radio
All right.
people, so you look a lot better than we do, and you always will. So here we go. Last night, NBA action, and LeBron continues to massively impress. Another big night for him last night.
This one is over. The Cavaliers win it, 128 to 110. LeBron James with 43 points, 8 rebounds, and 14 assists in a total disembowelment of Toronto.
I mean,
Oh.
I think the little bit that the disembowelment of Toronto is a bit much, don't you think?
Jeez. That was a very violent
It's
call.
very rough.
I think that's exactly what happened.
No, no, we all agree that's what happened. I'm just saying it's a little bit Braveheart. Like I don't think.
Can anybody figure out how it is Toronto goes the regular season top team in the East, and then they just get in the playoffs and they
told you.
just look like they got but no one's surprised. I mean,
No.
you had how many people were picking Cleveland who limped through with the Pacers and was in a complete battle to go on ahead and sweep the Raptors, and it's heading down that path.
Well, I mean, the Pacers are a well put together team. They actually have chemistry. Toronto feels like it's just like 5 guys on the court that are just 5 guys on the court.
It's so annoying because I know, Matt, this is the first time you're at the show with us. So one thing you'll learn quick here today is me and Ricky Bobby don't like each other.
All right.
So
What does that have to do with anything?
because I hate when you're right. And this is what's happened here today is that Ricky Bobby has been saying for the past 2 weeks that the Raptors are garbage, that they're a bad number 1 seed, that they fold in the playoffs, and it's happening.
they did.
And it's so annoying that he's right.
In 90% of NBA playoff series, the team that has the best player wins the series.
Yeah.
And that's why LeBron has made 7 straight Eastern Conference Finals. He is by far always the best player on the court.
Yeah, dude was like doing his nails during the game.
He's getting a little mani-pedi while he's
like,
out there.
clipping his nails. I mean, it's just,
I mean, what a bum. He couldn't even get to a triple-double.
Terrible.
The hell with him.
I mean, wow, this is a guy that's just, hey, throw up another 4. He seemed, and I don't know if it was just LeBron's greatness or the pathetic play of the Raptors, but it looked like LeBron was just calling a shot. He was going wherever he wanted on the court, and there was no defense. There was nothing at all, just keeping him from doing what he looked like. He could put up 60 if he wanted to.
And credit to Kevin Love, too. I mean,
Yeah.
dude showed up.
I know, right?
That's the best game I think I've seen him play since he was in Minnesota. What, 31 points, I think, something like that last night, right?
Yeah.
And just, I mean, he wanted the ball, and he got hot. When you have a guy like that, not that Kevin Love is a role player. I mean, he's a little bit better than a
Yeah.
role player. You would hope so if you're a Cavs fan.
Yeah, he's been sort of a role player here, though.
Kind of, yeah. But when you have a guy like that go off on the road, you're almost guaranteed to have a victory. 128 points they scored.
Confidence is a funny thing in professional sports,
Yeah.
and the Cavs and specifically LeBron are in Toronto's heads, and that works
Yep.
both ways. LeBron knows he can do whatever he wants against that team, and
Yeah.
and everyone, all those Raptors, DeMar DeRozan, Kyle Lowry, those guys are good players, but they are not transcendent players.
Right.
I don't think they don't have the type of coaching to game plan around LeBron. They just haven't figured out what they need to do to beat specifically that man.
You seem to be seeing a lot of psych outs in this. I mean, what happened last night with the 76ers up 22 and blowing that game last night? Ben Simmons, I know, hey, rookie, and so, but I mean, is this?
So is Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum's also a rookie.
And masterful.
So I mean,
1 point for Ben Simmons.
Do you? I mean, is he shook? I mean, is that what's going on? I mean, is that Boston crowd in his head? Is he finally? Is he rattled? What's going on with Ben Simmons?
I think that Brad Stevens is a top 3-4 coach in the NBA, and they've figured out a way. They don't know what they can do with Joel Embiid, but they've figured out a way to get inside Ben Simmons' head and to stop his game, and they're doing a great job at it.
Who's a bigger MVP right now for their team? Who's more important to the success of their team? Brad Stevens for the Celtics or LeBron James for the Cavs right now?
It's LeBron still, but I see where you're going. You're right. I mean, it's still LeBron.
I mean, and that's a testament to how good Brad Stevens has been in these playoffs as a coach.
The fact that there's a hesitation to that answer.
That we're even asking that question.
Is the Celtics going to be that much better when they? I mean, you keep in mind they're doing no Kyrie, Gordon Hayward.
Right?
Are they going to be just that much better? And I think we were already like passing the crown to the 76ers after what they did to the Heat. But I think you're probably taking pause after looking at this. Does the chemistry get thrown off with the Celtics, or next year when they get some of these players back, are they going to be just that much better and that much unstoppable?
Well, you're worried about the chemistry. I mean, the chemistry, it didn't lose a beat when they lost Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
So I don't see any reason why it would change when Kyrie Irving comes
Does it
back.
get that much
and Gordon
better?
Hayward's not a chemistry ruiner. He played with Brad Stevens. He played for Brad Stevens already in college. So
Yeah.
might it take a little while to get ready?
Right.
Possibly. But by the time the playoffs come around, they're going to be as dangerous as anyone.
What team's scarier next year in the East, Celtics or 76ers?
Now, see, the way it's currently constructed, it's Boston, because this is a team that is maybe on the way to the Eastern Conference Finals that are getting Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward. Imagine a team that goes to the Eastern Conference Finals and in the offseason they get Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward. That's
Yeah, imagine
essentially
that
what's
was a
going to happen.
trade. You're
Right.
like, oh, well, holy crap.
Yeah.
It's pretty much what's going to happen to Boston. But I will withhold my ultimate opinion because maybe, just maybe, that possibility is out there that LeBron may end up in Philly. You don't never know what's going to happen in the offseason with that situation.
And we don't know where Kawhi Leonard's going to wind up either. the
That's
Celtics
also-
could figure out a way to get Kawhi
They
Leonard.
might get him too.
Do you
You're
think
right.
he would come to the East, or is he going to stay in the West?
Well, the Spurs are talking about trading him, so I
Yeah.
don't think he's going to have a choice. And specifically, the Spurs don't want him in the West.
Right.
No, yeah.
Okay,
He's,
so-
he's going to wind up on an Eastern team regardless.
Right. We tried to throw out a little bit of an arrangement possibly where
Tried.
you could see Kawhi Leonard in Miami. Is there any possible thing? Because it doesn't seem like they've got a lot of chips. Like
Yeah,
you would
the
have
assets.
to get
They don't
rid
have
of.
the assets.
Yeah, so it's not happening. So just forget about it.
You talk about like
think?
giving up firstborns and stuff.
Yeah,
like
I don't know. I don't know who on the Heat the Spurs would want.
And that's kind of
Yeah,
the
that's kind
reaction
of what we're
we've
getting
gotten,
to.
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is sad. I mean, don't make me sick. Come on, Matt. I want Kawhi to come to the Heat.
What do you think he was going to come in here and be an apologist
Well, no,
the entire time?
That's the thing.
sad.
Well, and no, and Pat Riley said it as much in his end of the season press conference. The Heat have a bunch of B to B plus players, really good
Yeah.
players.
But you
Yeah.
you start off today saying what is key. You see it. You've got to have that all-star player. When you get to this point, you've got to have the LeBron James. You've got to have somebody. And there's not a person that you would look at on the Heat's roster saying they could lift a team up and put them on their back and carry them into the next round. And how long before the Heat can get that player with the contracts they've got riding on them? I mean, they've got next year they're going to ride him out, maybe even the year after. Are we looking at 3 years before you get a major, massive star back in Miami?
It's not going to happen this offseason. the one thing that you hope is that you have Pat Riley and you have South Beach, and you hope that those two things will at some point get a big name free agent, and they'll be able to move the pieces around so that they can actually afford that big time free agent. But they can't make any trades happen, and they're not going to get a low enough draft pick to pick someone that's really going to make a difference. So it is a little bit of a waiting game in hopes that when some big, like they almost got Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Almost got Kevin Durant.
Right. So you're saying right now would be a good time to buy Heat tickets for next year because they're not going to be very expensive.
Buy low, baby. Buy low.
So if I ever
Yeah,
want
they're
to,
just
if
gonna
I ever
run
want to
through
sit
this
down low,
again. Yeah.
so the good selling point for next year, if you ever want to sit down low, next year's your year, baby. Go for it because those seats are not going to be what they used to be.
Yeah, unless LeBron comes.
Hey,
All
yeah,
right,
I like
all
it.
right.
I like it.
Don't
Is
start
there-
doing
It's
that to
unlikely.
this
There's no
room.
reason why LeBron would come unless
Right.
it was to run it up with Dwayne again.
Do you think D Wade's back next year?
I think he doesn't know. I don't think anyone knows
Okay.
whether or not he's coming back. I think he's gonna sit through it, wait, and see how he feels in a month, 2 months. Yeah, he probably is coming back, but right now, I don't think he's made his decision up yet.
It's going to be a limited role if he does come back. I mean, like he's worn down. He's like 3,600 years old in basketball years.
True. The genius that we just had in here, Matt Lincoln from CBS 12, is joining us here today. Coming up in just a second, got to talk to you a little bit about the Dolphins draft.
Do we have to? I mean, we just talked about before. I'm getting
I've got a
sad,
question
and now we're
because
going to do this.
I'm carrying a grudge about this draft, and I don't know if I'm right to or not. I want to fire this at Matt Lincoln to say, did the Dolphins completely blow it in the second half of this draft? We'll get his thoughts on that next.
It's Derek Jeter's favorite sports show, just like Derek Jeter is Florida's favorite owner. Kevin's Other Show on 640 The Hurricane.
It's amazing just how mixed the opinions are on how the Dolphins did on the draft. Even when we were doing the Twitter poll, it was like a third was like great, a third was like confused, and a third was angry. So that really kind of broke up how people listen to this show feel about the draft. And I still don't really even know how I feel. I felt great when it started out. I'm like going, that Minkah Fitzpatrick, I don't think anybody's debating that. That seemed awesome. I saw a lot of Mike Gesicki playing against Ohio State, knew about him a lot. I'm like, well, that seemed genius. That guy is so long and athletic. You throw a ball anywhere close to him, he's going up over anybody and he's grabbing it. It was just unbelievable to see him. Jerome Baker, being an Ohio State guy, I know his athleticism. I'm like, okay, I could see that. And then from there, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about what the Dolphins did.
It kind of seemed like they didn't know either.
Yeah, so my
They had
question
like a dartboard, and they were just like, well, I guess him.
That guy.
we got Matt Lincoln in here from CBS 12 today, and I saw you talking a little bit about the Dolphin draft picks with Omar Kelly, and my question for you is, did the Dolphins, in my opinion, it feels like they crushed it in the first part of the draft, but did they blow it in the second?
I would say the answer to that question is there aren't that many great players in the second half of the draft anyway. So you're not looking for the next Jarvis Landry in the second half of the draft. You're not looking for the next star quarterback.
But they
in the
do
second half of the
happen. They do happen. A Tom Brady 6th round. always
yeah,
here.
but no one was like, "Oh, Tom Brady, man, the Patriots
Sure.
made a great pick there."
Yeah.
It just wound up that way. And these guys in the second half of the draft, they wanted to get a blocking tight end because as much as you like Gesicki and as much as he's barely a tight end, he's more like a strong big slot receiver. He can't block to save his life. So they don't really have a young blocking tight end anyway. So they basically have like two halves of tight ends. They've got a guy who can block and can't catch, and they've got a guy who can catch and can't block.
Fantastic.
So
Well,
Just tie them together.
this might explain what because when I say the disaster of the back end of the draft, this was the thing that really kind of like burnt me that I didn't get. I see in the 6th pick, the Dolphins go with Cornell Armstrong, the cornerback out of Southern Miss. That was pick number 209. And at that point, at that moment, Braxton Berrios was on the board. And if you're a Canes fan, you watched him a lot. He just always seemed to be open, always seemed to make something happen. I mean, he had 9 touchdowns last year. Braxton Berrios did. And you're like going, that's just the knack that he had. He seemed to always be in the right place when you needed him.
In college.
The Dolphins, in college, but still, the Dolphins pass on him in the very next pick, and it just seems like that, what were we doing? Are you right in feeling that way? And the one thing I wonder, did the Dolphins, looking at the board, seeing Braxton Berrios is there, saying, we don't need it because we got Gesicki? Is that what's going on?
I think the biggest issue was right now they feel dedicated to 5 receivers. You can't keep 6 receivers on an NFL team. So they have, obviously, Devontae Parker and Kenny Stills, the guys coming back. And then there are 2 big acquisitions in the offseason, Danny Amendola and the kid from Port St. Lucie, Albert Wilson. And then Jakeem Grant's their return guy. So that's 5 receivers you already have on your team. If you're drafting a receiver in the 5th round, where does he go? There's really no spot. They still have to figure out if they're going to keep Leonte Carew, who they traded 2 draft picks for to move up a couple drafts ago. So
That's right.
So they've got they don't have any room on their roster for Braxton Berrios.
Some Dolphin fans that I talked to, here's how they felt. They felt, okay, the Patriots got a fast one on us again because they give us Amendola, we overpay for him, and then they get the younger version of him for a lot cheaper. And that's, again, here go the Dolphins being the reactionary franchise that they are, and the Patriots are the forward thinkers. Is that right to feel that way?
No. I mean, if the Patriots really were hugely into Braxton Berrios, they wouldn't have waited for the 5th round, or 6th round.
6th, I think?
6th round.
Yeah.
6th round to draft him. So I don't think... I think people are making too much of a big deal out of Braxton Berrios to New England. They just see, he's the next Wes Welker, he's the next Danny Amendola. Yeah. He's just kind of another guy. I don't know if it's gonna. He's just we've watched him a lot.
I think that's
being
why.
in South Florida.
You think
we've had too much of Braxton Berrios.
Ricky Bobby,
bias.
you think that Braxton Berrios is just another guy?
Yeah, he's just a guy. And then also, if you look at the Patriots predominantly have not drafted well at wide receiver over the years.
Terribly.
Absolutely horrendous. So, I mean, for them to wait into the 6th, they were like, all right, we got some guy that we could possibly turn into something, but I can guarantee you he either won't see the field or he'll live on the practice field until he's on another team.
I honestly think, I think you guys are off on Braxton Berrios. I mean,
that's because you're a UM fan.
Yes,
you're
I know.
tainted.
I'm wearing a UM hat.
No,
I understand.
Tainted.
Okay, yes, I'm tainted, whatever.
With the Dolphins underwear on.
You're giving me too much credit for wearing underwear. But when I was watching the
hell?
Hurricanes last season...
What just happened?
He just admitted he's going commando, y'all.
Dude, those are khaki shorts, bro.
'Cause
you
I'm
must
free.
hate your wife.
Don't worry about it.
Land.
I was watching the Hurricanes last season. And even before that, you watch Braxton Berrios, and everybody thought to themselves, this guy is going to be awesome on the Patriots. It wasn't a fact or a question in your mind of, I wonder if the Patriots are going to get him. In August of last year, I was thinking this guy is going to be great when New England drafts him. And now here we are.
Okay, well then...
He's their prototypical receiver.
Well, if you think he's going to be so great for the Patriots, why would you think he'd be good for the Dolphins?
Because the Dolphins went after someone an older Berrios and Amendola. And I just feel they don't go after those type of guys.
You're giving Berrios way too much credit, bro.
I'm telling you. Remember I said it?
Yeah, because what the Dolphins are doing with all those they're creating an antiques museum that is the Dolphins, and you're looking at this as a UM fan, going, I saw production him in college, which once again we talked about this yesterday. I don't believe in the product moving from college to professional. There's only a few people that you can look at them and go, yes, that's someone who can actually be very productive, but you have no clue whatsoever, and you're giving a lot of credit to Braxton Berrios, and you have no idea how he's going to play against actual NFL players. He's playing against people right now that will probably be accountants.
You know what? I'm happy for Braxton Berrios because he fell into a situation where Tom Brady is going to be his quarterback rather than...
I mean, in practice.
In practice. You should be angrier as a Canes fan that the Dolphins didn't take McIntosh over Jerome Baker in the 3rd. That's
you think that was
issue.
okay? So if you had to say any other whiffs that maybe the Dolphins made, do you think that was one that
was
should have
one.
gone McIntosh over Baker?
Yeah, the defensive tackle rotation is interesting, and I know they just traded for Akeem Spence, a guy who really hasn't done a whole heck of a lot in his career.
Right.
So you've lost the best defensive tackle in football, and you've replaced him with Akeem Spence.
Can we only get defensive tackles from the Lions? Is that just kind of like what the natural rotation is? They go to the Lions and then we pick them up?
Yeah,
right.
That's it.
Yeah. Is that how it goes?
Well, it's because their defensive line coach used to be the defensive line coach of Detroit. So that's why that's happening.
We're coming together.
6 degrees of separation.
Well, and I think, too, why there are so many people angry, a third of the people angry with this draft, is because those are the people that can't stand Ryan Tannehill. It's such an interesting, this whole atmosphere. Dolphins fans either love Ryan Tannehill or absolutely can't stand the guy.
Where are the guys that love him? I'd like to talk to him. Yeah. I don't see him.
Yeah, where are those guys?
I sent that out on Twitter last night. I said 6 wins. Because that's what the latest Vegas has for the win over-under is 6 victories for the Dolphins.
Which that's like the worst minus the Browns, right? There's 2
only
teams.
Jets and the Browns are at 5.5.
Right.
And the
come on, guys.
So, I mean, honestly,
Dolphins are at 6.
The Dolphins are a season away from being the new Cleveland.
Well, I sent it out and I said, this is hard. It's hard to say. It's worth putting money on the over here. And a lot of people said, what are you talking about? Big upgrade at quarterback. Huge upgrade at quarterback this year than last year.
Really? They feel that?
They feel that way.
With
There
Tannehill?
are definitely people out there that believe that Ryan Tannehill is a disrespected quarterback.
Wait, are they Texas A&M fans?
I don't-
That's the outlier.
fan of Texas A&M receivers.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what all the Dolphins have to sell this season on is the return of Ryan Tannehill. And for the first time, really, he's had all these excuses built up for all of these years. It's his first year. It's only 2 years he's been playing the sport of the position. It's a bad offensive line. His receiving core is bad. He's had all these built-in issues.
But did they
first year in Adam Gase's offense? Every single year it's something. And now they're saying he's had plenty of time to get over this injury, get over this surgery, and now 2018, Ryan Tannehill, the Dolphins are yours.
Let's say he's good, though. Does he even have the weapons? I mean, would you say and look at what the Dolphins have and say they've got playmakers out there that can turn it up and be lightning and make Tannehill look great? Because I'm sorry, if you got nothing to throw to and nobody run the ball, and
I don't think the Dolphins receiving core is bad. I think if Devontae Parker can figure out a way to not be made of peanut brittle and can actually stay on the field, this is probably the best receiving core in the AFC East. I would say that. Of receivers. I think if you probably put Gronk in, I would say the Patriots probably have better receivers. But if you just say receivers,
just
not
the wide
tight ends,
receiver position.
Receiver position, it's the best group of receivers in the AFC East.
What are the odds we'll see Brock the Rock Osweiler?
Oh, please, gosh, no.
Not if Ryan Tannehill stays healthy.
Yeah.
Because he's the backup, right? Like, that's where we're at, is Brock Osweiler is the backup.
and how often does Tannehill stay healthy?
He played
So how often?
He
Before
played
the knee injury.
every single game until he suffered a devastating knee injury.
Yeah.
Right.
And then decided he wasn't going to get surgery, even though the Dolphins told him you need to get surgery.
Right.
Rehabbed it, came back and re-injured it in the third practice of the year.
Told you so. Yeah.
So you could say he's not injury prone. He's had one major injury that's kept him out for a year plus.
Which is prone to injury again, probably.
Yeah,
Hopefully not.
Okay.
Who knows?
Appreciate you coming in.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah.
Matt Lincoln, CBS 12.
Next time a suit, though. I mean, come
Next time it's at least a hat.
on. At least a hat. You gotta go with the hat.
Make
thing.
us look worse, yeah. We need you to dress down, not dress up, man. Appreciate it. Coming up here in a couple minutes, the NBA Annoy-Off continues. Kevin Hart versus Drake. We'll give you the latest stats next.
Be part of the show on Twitter at 640 The Hurricane, hashtag Kevin's Other Show.
I was wondering where Drake was last night.
You found him?
He got there a little bit late to the Raptors game. People were like tweeting out, being like, "Hey, where's Drake?" And then when he showed up, he had on the worst looking tracksuit I've ever seen in my life. I
He was probably stuffed in Perkins' locker.
don't know if he like spilled something on what he was going to wear to the game, and he's like, "Oh crap! Like, where am I going to find something?" And I don't know if he ran across the street.
What is with the tracksuit, by the way? Because DJ Khaled started this some years ago. All he wears is tracksuits. I don't know if that's because he's a bigger guy or it's
I think it's because he's a bigger guy because tracksuits are very forgiving. I mean, they really are. It's, it's just the waistband gives and it's like it covers.
What is Drake doing? Why is he wearing tracksuits?
It's like wearing a sporty tent is all it is.
It's really
It's a sport tent that you're wearing.
What are you wearing today? A sleeping bag.
Yeah, I don't know what Drake was doing.
I don't get it.
But when he got there, it seemed like, okay, everything kind of worked out for him. Kevin Hart, just pretty much all over the court dancing. I don't know if this guy thinks he's like able to go wherever he is. I mean, I would say yes if you go back and look at what he did at the Super Bowl, because during the Super Bowl, he thought he could go anywhere he wanted to.
I'm sorry, flag is live.
That's right, baby.
Not quite 83-6, but they got it done, right?
Got it done.
It doesn't matter. We got it done. We got it done.
We're champs.
I will get done by ourselves.
Yeah.
What did he say at the end?
I don't get down by themselves.
Yeah.
He's
It's more getting them down.
Yeah.
I will get done by ourselves.
And he's like, I've been drinking.
The best is he didn't realize how drunk he was until he cursed, and he was like, "Oh crap! All right, well I guess I should get out of here."
Yeah. Like a couple
live
times.
on TV on the NFL Network just shows up. And now he's doing this at basketball games.
He had a
Hart.
challenge getting there. Did you hear that Kevin Hart, he had a blowout in his private jet?
Yeah, how about that?
Oh, that's scary. It's so scary. I know when my private jet blows a tire, it's horrifying.
Don't you hate that?
It's the
Yes.
worst.
Oh, my
dude!
gosh.
Last Thursday.
Yeah.
It's very annoying.
He was trying to land at Boston's Logan Airport, and he shared a Snapchat video where the wheel, I guess, had blown out. The firefighters were right there to try to help him out, but thankfully he was able to make it to the game to go on ahead and watch the 76ers blow a 22-point lead.
Well, thank God.
Yes. Drake, meanwhile, was warned about his language, which... So, wait. So, you're warning Drake about his language because that little dust-up he had with Kendrick Perkins?
Yeah.
Cavs earlier this week. So, you're telling me that otherwise there's not any bad language that happens on a playoff court in the NBA?
Guess not. No, I guess not.
So, Drake, you need to be the one that watches your language?
We gotta have to get a swear jar out in Toronto.
I feel like they're kind of singling him out, right? Is it because he's wearing the tracksuit? Is that what it is? They don't like the tracksuit?
Well, I mean, it's just you've got these celebrities that are like on the court, and really, if you see anyone else that is sitting courtside and you're not a celebrity, they don't let you out there like that. Like Kevin Hart's like grabbing basketballs and chucking them up. Like he thinks he's part of the team. And it's like, if you're just a regular rich business guy who's paid 10 grand to sit there, there's no way you're going to be able to like pick up a basketball and just start chucking them up.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no interaction. It doesn't happen.
Or maybe you just don't have the gall to do it.
Gosh, did you see the guy the other night? It was so amazing. The Cavs fan the other day that was sitting courtside, and LeBron came over, and he's like high-fiving the players, and this guy was just a regular dude, and he's doing that move where you take the jersey and you wear the T-shirt underneath.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
kind of
it's
thing.
so good.
He comes up, and he's like on the court, because he's like, he's looking down, and he's seeing, hey, I mean, if Drake can do it, I can do it, right? So he's out there, he's like, yeah, LeBron, give it up. And he goes, and this is on camera, and he walks like, right, and LeBron just like brushes him off and just like walks right past him. So the guy does this thing he didn't know what to do, so he goes with a under the like, like a fist pump hammer, tries to play it off, and it was like, nope, okay, yeah, crushed. But that's what happens when you're a regular guy and you're sitting courtside. You don't get the high fives, you don't get to chuck up the balls. You got to have celebrity status.
Yes.
I thought I had seen somewhere somebody tweeted out, is this true that they are paying Drake 25 grand a game to show up at the games?
I know he's a spokesman. I remember this happened a couple years ago when they made when they did the color change, and that's when he released that album. I don't know, with the owl on it or something like that. Who cares? And but they made him the Toronto spokesperson. So I imagine that's probably
he's like
why.
our pit bull. So he is supposed to.
Is Pitbull spokesperson?
Yeah, Pitbull
for
actually
who?
was hired by the state of Florida Travel and Tourism.
Oh my lord!
Oh yeah,
that's why he says Mr. 305.
Well, it's like he was doing it anyway, and so then they just went on ahead, and I guess now he's
marketing.
Yeah. I think now he's like getting paid to do it, and yeah, everything that he does like all of his videos are all about Miami. And,
okay, so now it makes sense. I thought that was just part of his act, as like you said, Mr. 305.
Yeah, no,
he's actually getting paid to promote Florida.
It's like when they did that Crocodile Dundee trailer, but it was really just an advertisement for traveling to Australia.
Yeah, it was genius.
That was pure brilliant.
Yeah, and now he's got this new song that just dropped yesterday with Enrique.
Oh no,
they're kind of like Okay, you're saying oh no.
Does it sound like every other Pitbull song?
Okay.
In the worldwide.
Well, it's kind of like Enrique with Pitbull, but he kind of takes the lead.
She gon' make you move to Miami. She gon' make you move. She gon' make you move to Miami. She gon' make you.
See, she's so hot, she will make you move to Miami.
Right.
She gon' make you move to Miami.
Sounds like sex trafficking to me. I don't know.
Is that what it is?
It's a bit much, yeah. I wouldn't trust it. Like,
Dark turns.
it just seems really odd. Like, I don't.
This is the sex trafficking anthem?
That's what
you
it is.
think
It is Miami
for
sex trafficking anthem.
Yes, okay.
So he's staying with the South Florida theme, though.
Well,
So that's
He's actually Mr. Indonesia.
Oh, God.
It's not quite the spin I think they were hoping for.
And you got on me for
Well,
saying...
hopefully, I mean, okay. First of all, Matt's mother was here, and you say you don't have any underwear
That's
on. Come
true.
on.
Yeah, that was my bad. I kind of forgot she was sitting there.
Yeah.
Tried to warn her. I'm
apologize.
like, well, it's kind of a dude show. Like, oh, it's going to be fun. Don't worry about it. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
Meanwhile, if it's true, what I was trying to point out before is he's wearing khaki pants.
That's right.
That's no good.
Still a little bit of water, and you're going to be able to tell his religion.
I ain't scared.
Or chili for lunch, and you'll be able to tell he ate it.
That's right. Come on.
You know, LeBron, very impressive with his points, 43 the other last night.
Not bad.
Yeah, he puts in the numbers there. And we were talking about this the other day when we were comparing LeBron to, Jordan off the court. I don't know. I mean, Jordan's got a lot more money than LeBron, but LeBron's doing all right. There was a report about some of his investments and what he's been doing. In 2011, he dropped $6.5 million for 2% stake in the English soccer club in Liverpool.
I remember that.
And they say if they sell the team today, its current value is $1.6 billion. He would turn that $6.5 million into 32.
Oh, my gosh. So he's
He's
really
got
good
really
at
good financial people.
Wow.
Well, I mean, he's still got his, what is it, Maverick Carter? He's still got his guys that he grew up with that's handling all of his money and everything's all tight. And so, you hope, because, I mean, how many of these guys get ripped off by, you always see that, it's the business manager takes off with all your cash. And so I think that's why he's doing it. It seems like it's smart. And then the thing we compared the other day, Jordan's got his Ballpark Franks. LeBron's got his Blaze Pizza.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Blaze Pizza all the way.
Yeah, and I didn't know how much he'd put into it. He only dropped $1 million into Blaze Pizza. But now Blaze Pizza's grown so much, it's worth 25. He turned one into 25.
LeBron is killing it.
I mean, yeah. I was like, I don't know if he's Magic Johnson yet, but
Jeez, so he's great. He's one of the greatest players of all time, maybe the greatest, depending on the argument, trying to bait Ricky. But now, off the courts, he's doing all this too. It's not fair.
if you start looking at,
Not doing it.
I mean, I think Magic Johnson's still maybe the greatest NBA businessman of all time.
So
I mean, that
far,
guy's he's owning franchises and theaters and all that kind of stuff.
I don't know, but this is the thing, though. Is also, I mean, this even relates back to the game. It's a different time now.
Well, and don't forget, too, a few years back, LeBron said he wanted to be a billionaire athlete, and he became friends with Warren Buffett to learn about investing and what to do
I'm
after
sure Warren
his
Buffett
career.
just want to be like, I'm friends with LeBron.
Yeah, probably.
Coming up here in a minute, we're going to talk a little bit about the Kentucky Derby going off this weekend. Just gives you another reason to get real hammered. Plus, who would have thought? Bringing world peace in North Korea, it's none other than ping pong.
Oh, my God.
I'll tell you why next.
Can't wait to break down last night's game? Yeah, not. It's Kevin's Other Show on 640 The Hurricane.
I mean, it's just a couple months ago, we're like going, oh my gosh, we're going to nuclear war with North Korea. And then I don't know what happened. Like a major 180 somehow has happened. And now they're all chummy where you see the crazy Kim Jong-un is jumping over the border and shaking hands with the president of South Korea, and then boom, they jump over to the. It's like they're playing hopscotch back and forth over the border and shaking hands. And
Yeah, so like the DMZ will cease to not exist anymore.
Yeah.
It's going to be very odd. You're just going to call it Korea.
It's all kind of working out. It's good.
And now the latest sign that relations are thawing between the two Koreas. Apparently, the women's ping pong teams for both North and South Korea were supposed to be playing each other in the World Championships yesterday.
Yeah.
But they came together, they talked, and they said, you know what? We don't want to play each other. We want to combine as one Korean team. And they did. And now they're going to be taking on Japan, or they did today in the bronze medal bracket. They let them do it.
How about that?
Trump is definitely taking responsibility for this. Like, I saw that movie Forrest Gump, and I was like, "This is the way we do
Ping
it."
pong works.
Well, I don't know who to give credit to when it comes to this. I mean, you've got Trump. You've
He's
got
on the list.
Yeah. You probably also saw that. What's his name from the Bulls?
Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman was trying to lay credit to it.
He sent Kim Jong-un every single Trump book.
Yeah.
Like months ago.
It's hilarious.
Before this happened.
So do you think Trump? Do you think Dennis Rodman? Or do you think ping pong?
Man, that's
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
So who would? But if it's ping pong, would Forrest Gump go up and take it?
It has
Like,
to,
would they have to send Tom Hanks up there?
That's probably the only thing that could take
makes
the Koreans
sense.
out right now. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ping pong brings the world
Ice
together.
cream.
It does. If you're going to be watching the Kentucky Derby, I don't know anything about these horses. I know that the Gronk horse is Gronk out. Gronk's
out, yeah.
Gronk's out.
Yeah.
Gronk's what? It got sick. It got like horse flu or something like
Yeah,
that.
he ended up getting a little horse fever and told him he couldn't. He couldn't travel, so
I
they
think
had
he
to
was
scratch.
working on his dirt biking skills.
Yes,
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
The horse?
The horse.
Out there with
so
the man?
sad, man. I really was so excited to see the horse Gronk running the Derby, and then
Because you know Gronk would be at the Derby.
He would be
That's
there.
why.
And then
he
the announcer
would.
would have to
Oh,
call. Gronk is coming down the stretch. Oh,
He might anyway with the party they had there. Who knows?
Oh, remember a couple years ago? What was it? Wes Welker that was there doing ecstasy and stuff like that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I didn't know. I thought it was
He
mint
was-
juleps. I didn't know they did
He was.
ecstasy at the.
Oh my God. The party that's in what you see on television.
Yeah.
No.
I-
It's like an opium den inside.
Is it really?
It's nuts.
I knew they were drinking. I didn't know that like drugs were flowing at
It's
the
like
Derby.
yeah. Are you kidding me? There's like a pharmacy inside.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stories about, people getting busy in the porta potties and just,
Yes.
I mean, the debauchery that happens there.
There's floppy hats and floppy everything all over the
And
place.
where else do you see somebody get so dressed up to get so hammered?
That's what I was saying earlier
Other
too.
than maybe the Honda Classic, but it's not even that
and
level.
You see, and these women, I mean, no offense, they look ridiculous.
The hats, I don't
you
get
with
it.
the floppy hats and the things, and you're in all pink. You look like a stupid Easter egg.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's all part of it.
I don't know what this trend is, but the latest thing I've seen is they take the hat, which, hat always, to me, sits on top of your head.
Usually.
And these ladies take this hat, and it's like somehow they stick it to the side.
Right.
I'm
They
like,
get the
what the
smaller
hell?
hat.
What the hell is that? It's like someone just came up and just like stuck it right on the side of their
It's like
face.
you obviously have too much gel in your hair, ma'am.
I don't like. I
That hat
couldn't-
tried to fall off
I'm
your
like,
head, but it couldn't.
Did the
I've
hat
seen that.
start up here and then it started migrating south?
You're looking at it, you're like, God, it's windy out
like
there.
that.
No, it's literally stuck like it's on the side of their face. It's like I don't even understand what this is all about. Why are we here? Why is this happening?
One of us needs to get those little hats that go on the side of your face.
I think I'm good.
Yeah, I'm all right too.
So it's
Yeah.
me. Is that what it is?
Yeah, Justified, the early favorite to win the Derby. If you're one of those people like I'm Kentucky Derby day smart, like I walk in there like I know what I'm talking about. I have no clue. I'm like, yeah, so I'll probably go Justified. 3-1 favorite to win. Then, it's 3-0 apparently. And I guess they run the horses a lot less than they used to. So, and I
Sure.
guess, they used to run them like
Sure.
all the time, but,
I was into it. Then the Triple Crown happened. American Pharaoh happened, and I was like, who cares?
Mendelssohn is the 5-1 second choice, while Magnum Moon is third at 6-1. Now that
Ooh,
just
I think
sounds
that's the
badass.
name
Fun.
of the South Korean president, Magnum Moon.
Stop.
I think
Magnum
his-
Moon.
I think his name is like Moon Jai Pai or something
It's
like
all
that.
in trouble.
Well, we got something here. If you know anything about horse racing, this would be easy for you. If you know anything about wrestling, this will be easy for you.
Check
I
and
really
check.
don't know anything about either, so this is going to be very hard for me. Now, I believe this is either a Kentucky Derby horse or a wrestling finish move. Or finishing move. I don't even know what you
No,
call it.
yeah,
What do you
that's
call it?
fine. Yeah.
Yeah, the finishers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Finishers.
All right,
right.
so our resident wrestling expert, the only man to have a wrestling talk show on AM radio that we know of anywhere in the world, one Stephen Diener.
That's right.
All
Right here.
So you're going to be giving us, this is either a Kentucky Derby horse or a wrestling finishing move.
Yeah. Now be careful. Some of these are tricky.
And
Okay.
I think you should go first because I used to watch wrestling back in the day, and I don't want you to feed off my confidence.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
I think
right.
you should go first.
That's
Okay.
fair.
All right, yeah. Hit me first.
All
I'll
right,
see.
here we
I'll
go.
get the first crack at this.
All right. I'm going to start off with an easy one.
Okay.
Is this a racehorse or a Kentucky Derby horse or a finisher in wrestling?
Okay.
Seattle Slew.
Seattle Slew that's a racehorse.
That is a racehorse.
No, you both are correct.
Yeah, okay.
So, all right, so
Actually,
this is a primer.
Seattle Slew won the Triple Crown.
He was the last horse to win the Triple Crown before American Pharaoh did it.
Okay.
So a little
That
horse
one I knew.
racing knowledge in there.
All right,
Okay.
that was an easy one.
I think you just named the two horses I know, except for Secretary.
And only because of that Tobey Maguire movie. That's the other reason why I know that one.
Seabiscuit, I got 4.
Seabiscuit.
There you go. All right, so that was the easy one.
Okay.
A little harder here. Strike the Gold.
Strike the Gold, that's a racehorse.
I'm going to go racehorse too.
Oh, you're both right again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man, all right, I
Yeah,
thought
your
that was
game is
harder.
easy, Diener.
All right, here, here we go. This one's really hard.
Okay.
Pedigree.
What is it?
Pedigree.
Pedigree, that is a finishing move.
That is a finishing
With
move.
confidence.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did not expect this at all.
Ace in
Triple
this.
H.
Triple H.
Yeah, I
that's
couldn't
right.
have told you who, but okay.
Okay.
Told you I used to
All
watch,
right.
bro.
All right. I got to find a harder one here.
I'm coming
You
for
do,
you, Kevin.
yeah. Dig
Oh, here
down.
we go. This is a good one.
Okay.
Rude Awakening.
Rude Awakening, that's a finishing move.
Okay.
It's a
Yep.
racehorse.
Kevin gets the rest of the question right.
Oh, baby!
Kevin breaks the tie.
Look at this. It's always the underdogs winning these games on this show.
I never win.
Yeah, you don't.
I never win.
No, you're really bad at the game.
I'm so bad.
That was Rick Rude finishing move.
All right.
Rude
That's
Awakening.
Okay, I don't know who's Rick Rude.
Remember
Okay.
the Ravishing Rick Rude? He came
No,
out.
no. Keep going.
Okay.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Kevin started. Kevin's up 4-3. All right. The 5-star frog splash. Racehorse or finishing move?
5-star frog splash.
Tough one.
What the hell?
Honestly, if you named your horse that, come on, man. I'm gonna go finishing move on that.
Okay.
That's still a stupid name for finishing.
Either
move, too.
way.
It's just dumb.
Finishing move.
Ah, you're both correct. There you go. Kevin's still up by 1.
Okay, I'm
was-
holding on to it. Here's 2 more.
Rob Van Dam, by the way. It was his finishing move.
Rob Van Dam.
Yeah.
Rob Van Dam.
You remember that guy?
Yes, I do.
Okay, good.
RVD.
They see? See, he's
Okay.
got it.
Well, I mean, come on. I mean, is that really a
I just
stretch?
use the acronym.
Is that really a stretch?
See, he's got
Yeah.
it. He knows the acronyms.
You said it really
Come
quickly.
on, weirdo.
Kevin's up by 1. Last one. If Kevin gets this, he's the winner.
You're right.
Okay, here it is.
Okay.
Razor's Edge. Racehorse or finishing move in wrestling?
Razor's Edge is a racehorse.
That is a finishing move.
Ricky tied it!
Oh, okay.
That's
All
a
right,
finishing
tiebreaker.
move. All right, quick
tiebreaker now.
tiebreaker.
Okay, all
Razor
right.
Ramon.
I didn't think I was going to come back here.
Here it is. Empire Maker.
Empire Maker is a racehorse. Has
Confident.
To be. Has to be.
I don't like your confidence.
Has to be.
I don't like your
Has to be.
confidence
It
at all.
is. I know it. I got it.
Really confident.
So confident. I almost want to just take it. No. I believe it's a finishing move. That was the first thing in my heart.
Okay.
It could be a finishing move, but it's a racehorse!
Okay.
Kevin is your winner.
The confidence really tripped me out because I was like, he said he didn't know anything, and then I go into this and he knew it. I didn't trust you.
I was like that Boston crowd to Ben Simmons, baby. I got in your head, man. I got in your head.
And I only got 1 point, so we're both like Ben Simmons.
Yeah, not impressive either way.
Well done.
Hey, check out this show. Download the podcast. You can get it every single day. You subscribe, it'll be right there for you. Just look for Kevin's Other Show on YouTube as well. You can go on there. All kinds of stuff like the Willie Taggart interview from Florida State. That is up there right now. If you go to Kevin's Other Show, make sure you follow us on Twitter at Kevin's Other Show.
You listened to him on the KVJ show for years. Every time he tried to talk sports, he'd get shut down. After years of begging, we finally gave in. Brought to you by Wellington Anti-Aging. Low T? Go to WellingtonAntiAging.com. And by Bremen Motor Cars in West Palm Beach. A world-class experience. Shop BremenPorsche.com now. It's Kevin's Other Show on 640 The Hurricane.